Alrighty, let's begin this tutorial. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to have your pattern. And my pattern is numbered, but a lot of you guys will just go into candy patterns and a lot of them don't come with numbers. But that's honestly not a big deal because once you know how to do the pattern, you won't need to have numbers on it. The pattern will be enough for you to figure it out. And you can always take a pen and simply pencil in the 12, and 13, and 14. You don't need it to already have them on you, but this just is easier for me to show you for tutorial purposes. But what we're going to want to do first is when we make a candy mask, how I do it is I start in the middle. So I pick a row in the middle to begin at. And to begin, a candy mask is made from a peyote stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to find two beads kind of in the middle. So we're going to go, and I'll probably just do 18 and 16 here. So mark those. And then since peyote stitch goes 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, we're going to mark 17. So we're going to do 18, 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, and so on. So I'll mark those. It's a little hard to see on the eyes. And then that is the pattern that we will see on our string. I'm going to hold the pattern up so you can pause the video to take a photo. So if you want to follow along, it will be much easier. Perfect. So we're going to take two of our teal beads and put them on the string, like so, and just let those fall to the bottom. And now our 17 is a white bead. So we're going to take our white bead, mine are clear, and we're going to simply put the strings together and add on a clear bead through both the strings. And we're going to put that all the way down to the bottom. And then it should look like this. And then we're going to go back to our pattern and see that the next is two white beads. So we're going to go back up to the top, like so. We're going to separate the strings. We're going to put a clear bead on each string, like that. And then we're going to slide them down to the end. And then it should look like this. And then we're going to look at our pattern. And next is another white. So we're going to do that. So we're going to take the string, put both the ends together, take a clear bead, and put it through both of the string, like that. And then pull it all the way down to the end. And it should look like this. And now you are going to continue to follow this pattern, adding them on like so. And I will see you at the end. Now it should be looking like this, but we're going to want to make sure it's nice and tight and not so loose. So what I do is I just bunch them down like this, take my fingers and scoot them down, because you want to make sure it's nice and tight. And I go like this, the last ones. And then when it's really nice and tight, it should look like this. And so now, since we're at the end of the mask, what we're going to do is we're going to tie it off. So I pinch it here. I take my string and I tie one knot like this. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure it's nice and tight like that. And then we'll tie another knot. Like so. Sorry, this string is a little long. You tie another knot like this, you pull it down so it's double knotted, like that, and then I always tie my knots 3 times just to make sure they don't come apart. And then it should be looking like this. And now, if we grab our pattern, when we look at our pattern, we can see that this row matches the row that we intended to do. So now you can either pick to start at the top or start at going down the bottom. I'm going to start going down the bottom. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at your pattern and see that we did row 16 and 18 and 17. So if we're starting on the bottom, our row is row 15. And in order to start this row, since both of your strings are coming out of these beads, we want one to be going through one of these to start the row. So you're just going to take one of the strings and just pull it through. like so. So now your string is coming out of this bead instead of the end. And if you want, you can cut this piece off. I usually just save it on so when I start to do the top, but you can get rid of it if you find it's in your way. So once we have the string through there, we're going to grab our pattern. And as you can see, on 15 is a clear bead. So we're going to take this, we're going to take our string, we're going to add one clear bead, like so. And then since our string is coming out of this bead, we're going to skip this bead and put it through these ones. Just like that. We're going to pull it through, and it should look like that. And then we're going to look at our pattern again, look at row 15, and we're going to see the next one is a clear bead as well. So we're going to do the same step again. We're going to add one clear bead onto our string. And then since the string is coming out of this clear bead right here, we're going to skip a bead and put it through the next clear bead, which is this one. Like that. Pull it nice and tight. And then it should be looking like this. Then you're going to go back to your pattern. You're going to look for row 15 and see what's next. So next is another clear bead. And then you have a blue, black, black, blue, and then 3 clear beads. So you're going to do that, and I will meet you at the end. Now it should be looking like this once you've reached the end of the row. Another little tip I want to share with you guys is I know sometimes when you're looking at patterns, you find one, but it's too short for your face or it's too long. And on certain ones, like a pattern like this, for example, if it's too short, just add on another row and you'll be completely fine. And if it's too big, just shorten it by a row. Because as you can see, some of my other candy masks, like this Gloomy Bear one, is about a row, 2 rows longer than this, which is fine because sometimes they're quite roomy. But don't worry, if you find one that's small, you can adjust it to your size. Now I'm going to show you how to add on a bead when you get to here. So when we look at our pattern, the next is going to be row 14, and that is a teal one on the side. And how we add these beads is since your string is coming out of this teal bead here, we are going to add on a new teal bead, let it go down to the bottom, and we're going to put it through this clear bead we just added. Like that. You're going to want to make sure you pull it nice and tight. Because if you don't pull it super tight, your mask becomes very flimsy. And of course, that's totally happened to me. But when you pull it tight, it's nice and it stays its shape really well. Like this was one of my earlier ones I made, and it's a little more flimsy than the other one, just because I didn't pull it as tight. But it's all trial and error, and it's all learning. And that is how you add on beads on the end. Then if we look at our pattern again, since we're on row 14, it's a clear bead. I'm going to take our string. We're going to add one clear bead onto our string, let it go down, and since it's coming out of this clear bead here, we're going to skip a bead and put it through this clear one right here. Like so. Pull it through nice and tight, and it should look like that. You're going to continue to follow the pattern until you get to the end, and I'll show you how to add on the last bead. Now that you've gotten to the last bead that you want to add, it is a teal bead. And so what you're going to do on these ends is you're going to put a teal bead on your string. And then since your string is coming out of this bead, you're going to put it through this teal bead going this direction. So you're going to put it up through here and it will come out going that way, just like this one. Pull it through and then it will sit in place like that. And now, since your string is coming out of this bead going this way, you're going to put it up through this teal bead going this direction. Take it, put it through, pull it nice and tight, and then it will look like that. But now your string is coming out through this top teal bead, and we want it to come out of this teal bead. So you're just simply going to put it through this teal bead. Just like so, and it will look like that. And then you can look at your pattern, and you can just continue on with your 13th row. And then I will see you guys at the end to show you how to do the tie off at the end again. Now that we're done the 13th row, your candy mask should be looking like this. And now to add on the bead onto the end, which is a teal bead, we're going to take the teal bead, put it on our string, and since it's coming out of this teal bead going that way, we're going to put it through this clear bead we just added. Like so. And it will look like that. And then you will continue to do the pattern again, and I will see you at this end to show you how to do that one again. Alrighty, should be looking like this. And then to finish this row, we're going to take our string, and it will be a teal bead. So we're going to add the teal bead onto our string. Since our string is coming out of this bead going this way, we're going to put it through this teal bead going this direction. So up through this teal bead, like so, going this direction, pull it through like that. And then since our string is coming this direction, we're going to put it through this teal bead going this direction. Like so, pull it nice and tight. Should be looking like this. And now you're going to just simply put your string back through this bead going this direction. I am starting to run out of string, so now I'm going to show you how to tie on more string. And to tie on more string, you're going to want to grab another piece of your plastic stretch cord or whatever you're working with. You're going to tie them in a knot together. Whoops. Tie them in a knot together like this. You're going to tie them in a double knot together. Pull it really nice and tight like that. And then you're going to tie it in a triple knot, just for safe measure, I always do. Like that. Pull it really tight. Get the two little bunny ears. You're just going to trim them off. Take your scissors, trim it right here, and voila, you've tied on more string. So now you can just continue to use it and go down the pattern. Now you guys can go down to the pattern until you get to row 10, and then I'll be back to show you what to do. Now this is what your mask should be looking like when you have finished row 10. So if we go to look at our pattern, after row 10, you can see our mask starts to go down and then it will go up again. So for row 9, we're going to start with a teal bead. So you're going to put your teal bead on your string. And then it's coming out of this bead, skip a bead, put it through the next one. Just like that. And then it should look like this. And then when we come back on the 8th row, we won't be putting a bead under here. I'll show you what to do, and I'll also show you how to add it on down here, so I'll see you at the end of this row. Should be looking like this now. So now, instead of adding a bead under this one, we're just going to take our string with no bead on it and put it through the bead we just added. And it should look like that. And then you're going to continue on with the pattern. And if we look at it, the next one on row 8 is a teal bead. So we're going to put the teal bead on our string. It's coming out of this bead, skip a bead, put it through the next one. Like so. And then it should be looking like this. And then continue and I'll see you at this end. Alrighty, now your mask should be looking like this. And since our mask is going to be tapering down now, instead of adding another bead on here, we're just going to take the string and put it through the bead we just added. End of your string. Put it through like that, and then next is another teal bead to go down on the tapering. Put it through there, like so, and it should look like this. And then keep doing that till the end. And then if we look at our pattern, we can see that it tapers down, but then it goes back up a little. So when you guys get done row 5, I'll show you what to do for the row 4 and the 3 on how to taper it in and out. Now that you are done the 5th row, we can look at our pattern and see that the 4th row goes blue, blue, and then nothing goes in here, and then blue, blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to add on the teal bead, just like we've been doing since it's coming out of this bead. Skip one, put it through the next, like that. We're going to take our teal bead, put it on our string. Since it's coming out of this bead, skip a bead, put it through the next. And now, since we don't have a bead to put on here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our string and weave it through this bead and through this bead. So put it through that bead, like so, and then put it through this bead, like that. And then we're going to continue to add on our beads like we have been. Put it, strings coming out of this bead, skip one, put it through the next. Same thing for this one. Then when we get to the end, like what we're doing, since you don't add a bead on, just put it through this bead. like so. Grab a teal bead, put it on your string. Coming out of this one, skip one, put it through this one. And now you can see that once again, we're not adding any here. So we're going to take our string and put it up through this one, this one, this one, and this one. So the next 4 beads we're going to put it through. So this one, like so, through this one, like so, and then through these 2, that, and like that. Then we're going to add on our last teal bead on the bottom here. It's coming out of this one, skip one, put it through the next one. And ta-da, the bottom half of your candy mask is completed. And now to tie off the bottom of it, what I like to do is I like to weave my string up through these beads till we get to the side here. You just weave it through here. Like that. Weave it up through this one, like that. Next one, and then up through these last 3. And then once you get to the side here, this one last one, ta-da, it will look like this, and now your string will be coming out of this side. And what I like to do when I tie off my string is there's this string that connects these 2 beads, and I like to put this string under that string, like that, and then it leaves me with a loop and a piece of string, and I just tie the loop and string together, like that, in one knot, in another knot, and in the 3rd knot. You pull it really nice and tight, like that, and then you will just cut off the extra string here. Like this. Ta-da. And then this is the bottom half of your candy mask. And now what you're going to do is you're going to look at our pattern. We've done from row 18 all the way down. And now we're going to do the same exact thing we did for all of those rows, but go up. And so with this string that we left, or if you cut it off, you can simply tie on another piece of string, like how I tie on every string. But you're going to put it up through this bead and then continue on. And then I will see you guys once you are done this portion of the candy mask. And I will show you then how to fold them together to make its mask shape. And then I will also show you how to add on the ear straps. Alrighty, once you're completed your candy mask, it should look like this. This is so exciting. And so I haven't tied it off yet. I thought I'd walk you through it again. My string is coming out of this bead here, so I'm just going to thread it through all of these beads till I get to this side. Just this top one. The next one, pull it through. This one, and this one, pull it through. This one, and then the last one. Like so. Now your string should be coming out over here. And to tie it off, we do it the same way that we tied off the other side. So you can see this string connects these 2 beads, so we're going to put it under this string here. Like so. And it makes it so you have a loop and your one string. And then you just tie them together. And I always do 3 knots. Just because I have had double knots come untied on me, which is really sucky because like everything just falls apart. 2 and 3. So just like that. And then you're going to want to cut off your extra. You just grab it, grab your scissors, little snip, and there you go. You have the main part of your mask completed. It's so exciting. So now I will be showing you how to connect the mask like this to make the nose and the chin part. How you make the nose part is what we're going to do is you're going to grab a piece of your plastic stretch cord and we're going to put it through each of these point beads going this way on each side. So this one goes through like that, and then the other end of your string you will put through this bead going this way. So then you have a big circle in your two ends. You're going to pull that down, and then when you pull it tight, you'll see that it will close the mask at the top. And then some people just tie it from there, but what I like to do is then I take this string coming out of this side, I put it through the second bead here, going this way, like that. And then I do the same thing with this string. I put it through this second bead going that way. Like that. And then when you pull it all together, it'll look like that. And now what you do is you just tie these two strings together. Make sure they're nice and tight. Like that. 3 knots. And then you take the two ends, take your scissors, cut off the extra. And there, that is the nose part of the mask. And these beads, they do look a little far, but that's just how it works. I've never had one break, and this way I find gives you most support on your nose. And then we will do the same thing to the other end. You will take a piece of your plastic stretch cord, and you will simply go down here and take each end of your piece you just cut and put them going these ways through the point. So this one's going this way, put this one through going this way, and then I'll take this string, go diagonal to this bead, put it through going that direction, like so, and then you'll take this string and put it through this diagonal bead going this direction. Like that. Then you'll want to make sure they're going out of the back, which mine just happened to go at the front, which is fine. Like so. And then pull it all nice and tight. And it will do what the top did. And then we're just going to simply tie it in 3 knots again. So 1 knot. 2 knots. 3 knots, like so. Take the 2 extras, take your scissors, cut it off, and then it should look like this. You have the part that sits on your nose, and you have the part that goes under your chin. And then next I'll show you how to attach the ear straps. So to attach the ear straps, what I like to use is a stretchier kind of cord. Like there's a black one, there's also white stretchy cord, or you can simply continue to use the plastic stretch cord you're already using. And to make the ear straps, you're going to want to measure the distance from the mask to your ear with beads to see how long you make it. This one's 36, so I'm going to make this one 36 as well. And you can do whatever pattern you want. You can have a pattern that matches the mask, or you can just have a solid color. Totally up to you. But what you want to do is you want to take a piece of whatever string you're using. I am using this white stretch cord. You're going to want to take both ends. And you're going to want to go to the corner of your mask, this corner bead right here, and put one end through. And then pull it all the way through. And then it will look like this. And then how I like to do it, I like to double up just to make sure it's extra durable so it doesn't like snap off where your ears are. And so then you're just going to want to put your strings together and add on the beads and making the bead go through each piece of string and then bring it down to the mask. And it will look like this. And then just add on however many in whatever pattern until it fits around your ears. Once you have all the beads on your string in your desired pattern, what you're going to do is you're going to separate the 2 strings. You're going to take one string and you're going to put it through this bead on this corner. Just like so. Like that. I'm going to pull it all down nice and tight. And it will look like that. And then you're going to take both the strings and you're going to tie them together. So 1 knot, 2 knots, 3 knots. And then you have one side of your ear straps completed. And then you just take the extra, take your scissors, trim it off, and then it will look like this. You'll do the same thing on the other side of the mask. And then once you're done the other ear, it should look like this.